colder weather has really brought attention to some of the challenges that homeless people face, particularly homeless women.
Our Peyton Furtado has been tracking this story since before our winter storms. Peyton, what can you tell us?
Yeah, good afternoon, Sydney and Rashad. We started working on this when we learned that a homeless woman died outside Miracle Hill last month. With only one dedicated women's shelter in Greenville, we looked into lack of beds, if that contributed at all. The more we looked into this, the more we realized how many resources we have, but also how many challenges in Greenville County. At the height of last week's ice and snow, Miracle Hill, the upstate's biggest shelter provider, housed about 850 people.
We'll have a lot more during these storms where we typically have people come in and out throughout the day.
While Greenville County has dedicated workers and volunteers, it has just one shelter specifically for women off of North Pleasantburg Drive with 63 beds. Shepherd's Gate, a few miles from downtown.
And the assumption is that the shelters are full, and in many regards they are. The question we really have to consider is, why are they full? There's a lack of affordable housing and transitional housing and all the different places that people need to jump off to.
There's beds, but there's not enough beds, but also you have to get there. And when you're living on this side of town and the shelters all over close to Wade Hampton, how do you get back?
Red Martin founded Sunday Dinner with a Twist after his more than a decade of experience being homeless himself.
Boxes of shoes back here that we'll hand out.
Throughout the cold weather, he's handed out blankets and tents.
And none of them was wanting to go to the shelter because they was worried about how they was going to get back, or what they were going to do with their dogs, what they were going to do with their stuff.
Including one friend, he says, who died of cardiac arrest outdoors after being offered help multiple times outside Miracle Hill.
We've been feeding her for 5 years now, and she's a beautiful lady and gave the best hugs. So she always wanted to help others.
Martin says other challenges, including mental health, addiction, space at shelters outside of cold weather events, and a ride there can contribute.
And then a lot of the people that we serve are in Berea, Travelers Rest, and places like that. They don't have a way to get all the way there.
Peyton, men and women who are experiencing homelessness, what can they do if they can't get to a shelter?
We actually asked Miracle Hill about that, Sydney. Turns out Miracle Hill offers rides to their shelters around the area. All you have to do is call them, and if they have space, they will come get you. Law enforcement also offers rides to some of these shelters as well, so call them. Some of the challenges people are running into on top of what we already talked about, some people don't know about that access or those resources, so getting that information out is good. And unfortunately, some people are not willing to accept the help, and you never know what causes that. But best thing to do in that situation, try to form a relationship with that person. That way you gain their trust, and they trust, hopefully, that you're just trying to help them. In Greenville, I'm Peyton Furtado for WYFF News 4.